Miles Davis Bitches Brew, which is, like Highway 61 Revisited. It's a landmark album in the jazz realm. It's one of the first real fusion records. So tell me,
Yeah,
the story is that you became a staff producer at Columbia, and you were working
right,
there with Antio Macero. Miles's producer was working there. Maybe you could
right.
fill in
They
how.
gave me the office. They gave me the office next to Tio Macero. Tio Macero, fabulous musician, alto, composer. He was Miles's producer. He said, "Look, well, first of all, my office is next to him. Thank God." And I'm in there, and Tio said, "Hey, Harvey, nice to meet you. I'm having some coffee. Why don't you come over, have a cup of coffee with me? I want to talk to you for a minute." So he says, Miles is doing a demo album with his wife Betty in down at the Columbia studio on 51st. He said, "Why don't go down there and play electric? He wants to try electric, and I think it'd be a good idea." And after that, he liked it and said, "Go down to the studio with Miles and check this out." So I go down to the studio, and I get the Miles Davis, big fat motherfucker, what are you? Hey, Miles, Mr. Davis. And, I gave him kudos and said, "Hey, man, I'm just fucking with you." And, but that's, what a guy, what a force. So I went to one rehearsal. We had one rehearsal, which happened obviously before the session. And we all got into Miles's apartment, which had a multi-tiered living room. Interesting. And most of the players, Dave Holland wasn't there, but most of the other players were. And Miles started playing actually showing us Jack Johnson boxing tapes, and it was, and we were sitting there wondering what's going on here. Chick Corea was at the piano.
Incredible. I mean, did you have experience playing with jazz cats like this prior?
No, very little. Like I played in saxophone, trumpet, blues bands, but I played a lot of jazz tunes. But what was happening here was a whole other world, and there was no charts, there was no specifics. Miles said, "What we're going to do is we're going to start, and I'm going to point, and you're going to play, and I'm going to cut you off, you're going to stop." And that was pretty much it. The session started. Before the session started, Miles pulls me over to the side and says, "Look, man, all I want from you is bottom. I want you to play bottom, and I want you not to think. I want you to just react." And that was basically the story. And so we started playing. David Holland and I had a conversation. We said, "Well, what are we going to do?" And Dave said, "Well, I got a great idea. You lay in the bottom and just find those bottom spots. I'll do the moving." So I played that kind of lines over and over again. And as things would change, we'd just kind of shift. The Miles would stop and we start. But and first concept for me was playing atonal. Not conventionally thinking of chord changes. What we're thinking about here is reacting to what we're hearing. The whole thing was react to what you hear. Don't get caught up in what you're playing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of that is the masters know their instruments. So you're communicating brain without thinking, just instinctively, oral, hearing, and then reacting, to what you hear. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you connect? Did you connect with the music in the same way? Because it's a very different whole thing than Electric Flag or Dylan or anybody.
Oh, totally alien to me.
Yeah.
Frankly, it took me about 5 years to listen to it. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's only in my later years as my brain's expanded. Memory's kind of shrinking, but the brain's expanding, and the ears are expanding. And so that's, and now I kind of understand what it is. My connection with music, for me, is a lot more fulfilling. I love playing the sessions, and I'll do them over, send the file in, but it's great. And the thing with Miles was just totally opened up my whole psyche.
That's
Thank you,
amazing.
Miles.
It's beautiful. It's one of the great jazz albums of all time.
Yeah, and all the players, we're all masters.
Yeah.
I've told the story many times, and it's all over the history. But from being inside it, it's really something. To not understand and to get it instinctively, but not really comprehending, and then understanding what to do. That came about halfway through. It was a great education,
Beautiful. It's
and
historic.
that's where it came from. The whole fusion, all
Yeah.
those guys.
Yeah. That was the template. And incredible. Did you ever play any live gigs with Miles?
No, he offered me the gig, and I was going to produce a John Paul album, in that time frame, and I could have put it off. I'll be honest, but I said no, I'm kind of busy. But thank you so much, Miles, and he gave me that. He wasn't happy with me, but that was a mistake.